What's cracking, everybody? You're back with Mr. Berger. Tonight we're going to take a look at this new Zoo Lock. So, it's kind of basically a newer variation with some slight modifications to the classic Zoo Lock. So the theme of a Zoo Lock, obviously, well, let's get into that a little bit more later. Let's look at the cards here. You got a lot of, cheap one-drops, a ton of them. Got only 1-2 here just to kind of fill that slot in. You got the Tar Creeper, a couple mid-range things. You'll notice it's very early game-ish, but the theme of the Zoo Lock, of course, is to get a bunch of minions on the board and kind of gain benefit from that. You get a lot of things that synergize with that really well, and you got the Warlock Hero Power, which allows you to draw cards really easily, and that, of course, synergizes really well with getting all these cheap minions out there on the board. And there's a few things that I did in here because I didn't have a lot of the cards, or a lot of the newer cards that were called for in a lot of the current, popular meta decks. So I slapped in that Soulfire there just because that's a really solid card to have in a Zoo Lock deck. It just provides that extra burst of damage to get you some board control early game, or also to, win you the game at the end of the game there. You can always nuke the enemy hero with it. I think I tossed this guy in there too just to kind of fill a slot. I like him. He seems to work really well with the kind of theme of the deck there, because he's easy to put down, does a little bit of extra damage to your hero, which is fine for you to take with the theme of this deck because it's very aggressive, kind of like early game. And then I put Lord Jaraxxus just kind of for fun, and then I got this guy as one of my legendaries from the new expansion, so I kind of slapped him in there too. Or I might have actually found a deck, what do they call it, deck recipe that used this guy. So anyway, another one of the new cards, the Fungalmancer, that goes really well with this deck. Despicable Dreadlord, I think he's actually from the previous expansion, but it's a really solid card. I like that one for sure, and you can get 2 of them down at once, and it does 2 damage at the end of the turn. So anyway, enough of looking at that deck there. Let's go ahead and actually hop into a match here.
Call it a deck formula.
Deck formula? Yeah, like Mr. Krabs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so again guys, as usual, this is done at, rank 25. So, not rank 25, rank 23 at this point. So, it's not necessarily, I'm not necessarily trying to show that it's a wonderful deck for very high, or would you call it high or low rank in this game? Anyway, for lower ranks, for legend or anything like that. But just kind of showing the theme of this deck, of this archetype almost, in a sense. Because it's definitely one that I really like. I've liked it for a long time, ever since I saw one of my buddies play it a long time ago. And it's been pretty consistent in the meta ever since. There's always some form of Zoo Lock out there. And if I'm not mistaken, the origin of the name comes from when it was a Magic the Gathering deck where there was a lot of animal cards, like lions and stuff, like animals that you'd find in the zoo. And so it became like the Zoo deck, and I think that this deck has a similar theme in getting a lot of cheap minions out on the board early, so on and so forth, synergy with that. So I think that's how it got its name and how it's proven to keep its name. Alright, so he put something early down there. Ooh, that's good for him, not for me. He's probably got a pretty aggressive deck here, it looks like. A Divine Shield aggro deck. So let's see what I can do here. I'm thinking I can use this guy and freeze that, and then maybe get the imp down. That might be good. Yeah, let's do that. Because then he can't kill the imp. That's good. Alright. He can't kill the imp because he doesn't have enough damage on the board that's not frozen. That guy there does 4 damage, obviously, but he can't attack this turn, so he can't take it out with this here. He might have another buff, obviously, or something. Yeah, right there. Give it +1 attack, so he's probably going to take the imp out with that. But that's fine. Not a big deal. Alright, so I'm going to have to take out this thing here. Let's see what I get here. I get another imp. Maybe chuck this guy out, see what I get from him. Alright. Willing to take a little bit of damage now. Maybe I should have committed a little bit more to get more on the board there, because he's kind of gaining tempo right now, or gaining control of the board at this point. Oh yeah, he's got some solid buffs. So it's kind of a aggro Divine Shield buff deck. Alright, let's see, what do I get here? Alright, that could prove to be beneficial. You can also silence this thing here. That'll work out well for me. And then I think that I'll end the turn there. Yeah, that should be good. If I can get a little bit later into the game, I don't know what he has late in the game, but he might run out of steam and, like, you know, have too much mana and not enough cards. Like so. So you only use 1 mana that turn. And I got this awesome dude right here. So let's put him down. And I'm gonna save the coin for now. Maybe I can get like a Jiraxis a little bit earlier or something. We'll see. Foguzza. What did he doesn't have anything. That's too bad. Poor guy. He didn't have any cards in his hand that he could play, I'm assuming. So let's get this thing down there. That guy's awesome. Maybe I will actually, what I'll do is I'll use the coin now. Get this down for a little bit of protection to defend the vicious fledgling. This thing's really powerful. I really like it in a lot of decks. I think is it a Warlock card? Correct me if I'm mistaken in the comments. Anyway, you can attack the hero and get Wind Fury with it on the first turn, and then attack again, and it can just stack up and become really powerful. Alright, what does this guy do? Prince Liam, I haven't seen that before. All 1-cost cards in your deck into legendary minions. Scary. Scurry.
Sounds really ordinary. Just Prince Liam.
Prince Liam.
So the cards have more fancy names.
Yeah, Liam. Prince Liam. Alright, I don't want to do that because that'll take out my guys. So I'm thinking at this point maybe I could just start going face. Let's... Well, actually, I don't need to do hero power. Let's start with this. Okay, that's good. Tar Creeper. Get this guy out, and then I think I'm just going to start going face at this point. Hopefully he doesn't have... Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about, Wind Fury. But hopefully he doesn't have any massive board clear here. Let's see. I will get a Divine Shield, try to keep it alive. And then this guy's end of turn effect is going to take out his Divine Shield. So that'll work out well. Cool. So I want to see what he has now. That's very RNG. Like, he could get something really good or something that does almost nothing for him. Right, he's healing himself, so he's going to stay in the game a little bit longer. Okay, Divine Favor. I really like that card. It has the potential to do really well, but I only had 3 cards in my hand, so it didn't do too much for him. Yeah, he doesn't have much left. I mean, he's got 2 mana left, so even if he has a really big legendary in hand, he can't play it right now. So I think this is going to go pretty well for me here, but let's see what I can do. Do I want to take the damage and draw a card? Well, let's see. I might be able to actually kill him here. I don't want to even do the math, but just keep going face. I think I can. Can't be targeted as spells or hero powers. That's good. Alright, go do that. Do that. Do that. And that's it. GG. Alright, cool. Easy. So, again, this is done at pretty high rating, or high ranking, rather. So nothing too spectacular, but just kind of a showcase of this Zoo deck, this Zoo archetype. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, leave me a comment, and go ahead and subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. I love responding to my comments, so if you have any suggestions for anything in the future or have any questions, go ahead and let me know in the comment section. Also, you can find me on Facebook, inspect me on Instagram, tweet me on Twitter, or rage at me on Reddit. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good night.